biggest question right now, what will South Africa look like post-COVID-19? The world as we know it has changed, like Aladdin said. During the month of March, the global markets lost almost $8 trillion. And the worst performers were Argentina and South Africa. According to a New York Times report, the US unemployment rate is now at levels unseen since 1932's Great Depression. It looks like COVID-19 is the end of globalization as we know it. The pandemic seems to have shifted renewed domestic investment in things like national security, food production, and even in the fight against climate change. Countries like South Africa will be desperately looking for renewed investment from abroad. The World Bank is planning to distribute over $160 billion to 65 countries over the next 15 months. Work, social, and study life has migrated online. What we're seeing is the reversal of the capitalist-driven isolation inherent in consumption-based social media. Our government has taken some brave and really great steps in containing and handling this pandemic, but we were not well positioned to handle a pandemic in the first place, with a debt-to-GDP ratio of 62% before COVID-19. There has been a vast amount of praise for the steps that government has taken, but following the trajectory of other countries battling the pandemic, this is likely to last for a very long time and create an almost economic standstill. Just like load shedding, this looks like the new normal. Even before lockdown, Moody's predicted that our domestic economy would contract by 2.5%. And the predictions got worse, that our debt to GDP ratio would rise to 91% by 2023. And it is no wonder that economists predicted the rand would breach 20 rand to the dollar in 2020. According to researchers at Harvard's Center for International Development, South Africa seems to be one of the few countries that has not increased its economic complexity in the past 25 years. Formal as well as informal businesses are bound to face potentially catastrophic losses. Some are predicting an economic shrinkage of 6%, but this might be optimistic. Even if this is true, a 6% reduction in economic activity will bring a severe reduction to tax revenue at a time when government will find it difficult to borrow capital due to our junk status. And facing the reopening post-lockdown, answer the question, what does a safe factory, mine, or business look like in the face of COVID-19? How would public transportation function if we were to live with the virus for the next 3 years? But with any change, there must be some opportunity. Opportunities? Cleaning services, delivery services, drive-in movies, liquor stores, meal prep delivery, canned goods, board games, landscaping. And everybody seems to be asking the question, how do you run your business remotely and better? Heightened emotional intelligence will be required, a large amount of servant leadership, ethical management, innovation, and inclusion, sensitive messaging, acting like a mentor instead of pushing work, and looking for demand and then approaching with care. Basically, it's essential services now and nice to haves later. We need to focus on things like customer care, prioritizing good communication, and mostly expectation management. Dun dun dun. The dust is starting to settle after COVID-19 lockdown shock. And now that people are stocked up on essential items and comfortable, they're starting to think about other things again. Things like managing their health and wellness from home, planning for post-COVID-19 business, and adapting to a whole new world. If there's ever been a time as a business to re-strategize your message, it's now. We need helicopter money in people's pockets. We need for people who have lost their jobs to be compensated, and we need to find a way to keep businesses open. And the state alone cannot do this. It is going to take coordination between private and public to make it a reality. So what's the point? All of this is really bad news. If we are entering an era where the world has changed completely, there is a Great Depression looming. People have lost jobs, livelihoods, and their lives. What is the point? Well, there's always two things to worry about. That which is inside your control and that which is outside of your control. None of this is really inside our control. And I urge you, if any of it is, if you're a policymaker, if you're a big business that can make a difference, even if you can make a small crowdfunding difference, do it. But what about the things that are legitimately inside of our control? What is in our hands? Our attitude, for one. What are my key solutions and top tips for emerging from COVID-19 a better human being? 1. Support one another, legitimately, genuinely caring about each other. Yes. 2. Brainstorming new directions. Well, peace. This means some creative thinking and some collaborative thinking too. 3. Promote what you're doing with sensitive messaging. Be considerate. You're in the midst of a global crisis. Don't go out advertising like you are going to be the solution for all the world's problems. Have some sensitivity and approach with compassion. 4. Downsize expenses. Yes. Hold tight. Pull in the reins. Restrain yourself. Do not go on post-lockdown buying sprees. Don't go on grocery run buying sprees. Lockdown. Financially, lockdown. 5. Seek legal advice when you're confused. There is a lot of really cool legal advice out there. Use it. Find out. Inquire. Don't just take and accept things as they are, because the whole world as we knew it legally has changed. Whole new world. 6. If you can invest now, do it. If you have any reserves remaining, find a way to save them, preserve them, make them last. Invest. How about investing in a way that gives back? How about investing in other people's businesses? Be part of the solution financially. And number 7, how will you be remembered post-COVID-19? Remember, you're part of a world-changing pandemic. Whole new world. This is a blip in the timeline that will be remembered forever. How are you part of it? That, number 7, comes down to your attitude. What will you be remembered for? It might not be for financial success. It probably won't be for many. Maybe you'll be remembered for your attitude and your adaptability. The human spirit is a resilient mofo. We are built to survive, adapt, be solution-orientated, and overcome challenges. And in doing so, we inspire our deepest humanity and power. Stop complaining. Stop sharing fake news. Stop sharing conspiracy theories. Be part of a practical solution that actually does some good, like supporting each other and having a great attitude that extends beyond your little bubble in lockdown. These are brackets, parentheses. I'm talking to myself too. Especially those suburban moaning parties about running out of wine, unless it's to create memes or inspire humor. But otherwise, stop complaining. You're annoying. I know, I'm annoying too. We're all annoying when we complain. Very annoying. Maybe, just maybe, in all of this, our attitudes can shift away from arrogance, invincibility, and greed, and come back to humility, accountability, teachability, and above all, kindness. World peace.